Banana gaming!
Hello, welcome to the second episode of Banana Podcast. I'm here with my co-host again, Real Not Perfect. Hello.
Hey, I started as a guest because I love the real host, but apparently I'm a co-host now, and apparently we're gonna do it every Saturday now. Hey!
Yay. Okay,
Woohoo!
what should we talk about?
Bro, because you're the channel owner, think of a topic and I'll give you time, but while you think of a specific topic, you have to think of one. That's my suggestion. Let's see. While we think about that, you ask me a question. It can be anything, and I'll talk about it. And if you still don't have a topic after I answer, I'll ask you a question, and you have to talk about it.
Okay, actually my only topic is murder, but I don't think you want
What, bro? I'm sorry. I just made the weirdest laugh cringe sound. Like it was supposed to be a laugh, like ha, but then it was like and it was like no at the same time, so it sounded weird. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you don't want to talk about that, but
It's so funny
yeah.
because I spend a lot of time writing, and a lot of it, ironically, a lot of it is centered on things that are similar to murder. Uh, People who have read my thingy. Let's not talk about that. Ask me a question while you think of a topic.
How'd you get started on your music? I mean,
Oh.
why and like
Oh.
how?
Oh, damn, she put me on the spot, eh? Oh, fuck. Sorry, she's like a mind reader. She's literally a mind reader. Damn, bro, she's a mind reader. It's okay. Well, this got sad within 3 minutes. This podcast got sad within 3 minutes. Stuff happened, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try. Okay, so stuff happened, and I'm not the only person who went through something like it, but the other people, at least in my experience, who went through the same thing, they got into unhealthy habits. I'm not saying I don't have unhealthy habits. I do have some unhealthy habits, but like I see people coping through, for example, alcohol or drugs, whatever form of drug that may be. Alcohol is one of them. It's cliche. I know it's cliche, but as with some other musicians or poets or writers in general, it's really the same thing. I had things I needed to talk about, but I had to find a more creative way of talking about it because either talking about it was not enough and or talking about it was not gonna work. And it's so funny. I talked about that in episode zero. I said that like it had a Z. Episode. Genius, right? Okay, now I talked about that in episode 0, which is on my channel, not Rose's, because episode 0 is on my channel. Okay, do you have a topic or do I ask you a question?
I don't have a topic yet.
You don't have a topic yet.
Yeah.
What made you? I know you wrote a book and it's a historical fiction.
Yeah.
What are you attracted to things that have a historical fiction appeal? In my opinion, you probably wrote it because you liked it. It wasn't like randomly, I'm just gonna write a historical fiction because I randomly picked that genre. How did that happen?
Oh, I'm actually really into like classical stuff or like historical stuff. I feel like my whole life I've been really more like, absorbed by it, as you can say, I guess. But I was really into books in general, and I think you can
Yep.
say books are historical nowadays. Well, nowadays you can say that they're kind of historical and stuff like that. But what intrigued me about books is most especially was historical fiction. And early childhood I read Little Women by Alcott, and then it really, I think that was where my my interest in the subject came, and I listened to a lot of like classical pianos, and then like I get off to that, as you can say, I guess.
Bro.
Like, I studied to it. Like I used to listen to it a lot, and then I think the timing was just like, oh, I wrote this book, like stuff like that. I don't think it was because like I want to write a book. I think it's just because I was feeling emotions at the time.
Okay, all right.
And I did write past books before that I never published, and I think I've talked to this. I talked this about you before.
Yeah.
I mean to you, and
Yep.
I never published them. I don't know why. Well, I don't know.
And she has one that she unpublished. Like, I got mad. I was like, why? I took it personally. No, she was like, I unpublished it, and then I took it personally. Kidding. Okay.
Like, I think. Okay, I'm really gonna sound stupid when I say this, but that book was kind of like more like a distraction, because at the time my grandpa did die, and I was suffering from COVID, and like I was, you could say, I was really depressed that time.
Yeah.
It was a very hard time for me, and I guess like it gets easier to talk about. And yeah, like now I make jokes about it, like, oh, my grandpa died and I made a book while recovering to that. It was like a bad joke, but like, yeah, it's what it is.
I have for the record, for me, okay, I feel like we should try to limit this podcast to not topics. I'm fine with except murder. No, we can do that. I have to warm up into it, and that we are warming up into the darker stuff. Let's try to keep this podcast maybe 39 minutes. Is that okay with you? 39 minutes? Yeah, like less than 40. Oh, so you just talked about how your grandfather kind of passed away, and then you were dealing with COVID, and it was a distraction.
Yeah, and it was like a very hard part. Like, it was very like, I guess like you could understand why he died, but also not really the aspect of why he died, because he was very sick at the time, or like it was really hard for like anyone to watch, because like he was like basically like drugged up the whole day and like asking you like questions and stuff like that, like questions that you don't think for him to like question. And like my grandma told me like, just say yes and just like nod, because like he's gonna get mad if you don't, and then stuff like that. And then yeah, and like I don't know, we really don't know what was the cause of his death. They said it's COVID, but like he looked like he was having a heart attack, but I don't know. And like,
and what does that look like?
The heart attack?
You said it didn't look like he had COVID. It looked like he was having a heart attack. Like, for you.
Oh no.
For you,
okay, so like the days upcoming to his death, my uncle was very sick, and like we thought he had COVID. Well, not okay. He did have COVID. You can technically say that, because he had gotten his COVID shots. He had gotten those, and then like I know that one reason. I mean, I know that one thing about those shots is that they literally inject COVID in you, so that like your body becomes like, oh, like this is COVID. I have to learn to fight from it.
It's a vaccine.
Yeah, the vaccine. That's how I know. And like he got those shots, and then he became really sick, and he was sharing a room with my my granddad, and
who was sharing a room with your...
My uncle.
Okay.
And he had gotten very sick, and on top of that, my grandpa was also sick. Like, he had just gotten hospitalized, and like he just came home, and then my uncle became sick from COVID, and then I got sick too. So I had to stay outside, like in my living room area. I had to sleep there and stuff like that to get away from my grandpa. And then like one day he just like he was literally like, it's kind of sad because he died while I was sleeping, but like before I went to sleep, I could vividly like just see him, like he was walking well, and like it was really unexpected because my grandma said like they were on a call with someone, like one of my aunties from the States or something, and then like they were on a call, and then like suddenly when like she said okay bye bye stuff like that, my grandpa just like looked like he was having like a heart attack or seizure or something. I don't know what it is, but like he did that, and then like yeah, he died, and then I just woke up to like my mom waking me up and saying like, oh, your grandpa died. And it was, yeah, like I didn't cry, I was more like shocked, and like I kept asking like, what, really? And like I kept telling them you're joking, and until I saw the body. And you know what's the craziest part is that he had to stay in this house for 24 hours because he died in the middle of the night, and they're like, it's like the middle of the pandemic, and like no one wanted to come here, not like no hospitals wanted to get him, like no emergency, not anyone, until the morning comes. So like we had to like, he had to be in like the room next to me with open door, like they didn't want to close the door, and like like every time I look on my like right side, I could see his dead body just there, and then that's like the worst part ever. It's like every time you look, it's just right there, and yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it.
You told me some of that. I didn't hear all of it until I didn't hear that much when you talked about it before. It's not my story to tell. Do you have a topic?
Nope, no topic.
You better pick one, or else you have to ask me a question.
I was gonna ask you a question, but it's kind of a deep one.
Oh, gross. Gross. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Yeah,
12-minute mark. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask that because I feel like you'd be really uncomfortable with me asking that.
You can try it, and if I get grossed out or creeped out, entertainment factor for the 4 people who will watch this.
No, yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, what was like the hardest part growing up for you?
Oh, damn. Yeah, damn, bro. It's the channel's called Banana Gaming, the podcast is called Banana Podcast, but it's so funny.
It's very opposite of, yeah.
Actually,
and then I edited so cutely, like, oh my god, yeah.
Bro. Hey, I'm gonna for the 4 people who are watching, I will answer her question, but I just want to hammer this point, even though I did it in episode 0, which is on my channel. This is, I feel like this is one of the biggest things that make me and Rose friends, because like we somewhat have a perky-ish attitude. It's a very different kind of perky for the both of us, but like immediately underneath it is like the saddest stuff. Okay, I'm gonna answer Rose's question.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I'll add to that. Like, a lot of people say I'm bubbly or like fun to get with.
You swear a lot. I got that from you. I swear now.
Swear a lot. Like, I do. I know that. Yeah, I swear a lot.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because like swearing's fine.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's so funny. In fact, for the people who are watching, I will answer her question if she can remember it. But wait, no. It's like, yeah, I remember. So me and Rose have been friends for a while now. We do have a lot in common. We have a lot of opposites, but we have like just a lot of things that really line up. And it's like, when I started swearing, that's how I knew. Like, at least for me psychologically, if I admire someone, I will slowly start doing things that they do as well. So I met Rose, and within 3 months I was like swearing. I was like, that's how I know I admire her. I like her, because I'm like catching these things. Okay, you can ask me the question if you can still remember it.
What was the hardest part for you growing up?
Did you say who? What?
What was the hardest part for you growing up?
Okay, if an asteroid is gonna hit Earth tomorrow and we all die, then at least I opened it up. That's not grammatical. At least I was kind of honest about it today, I guess. This is hard. Fuck. So Rose knows this, and if you've listened to any of my EPs or any of my albums, which are kind of garbage, but I'm still proud of them because I had the guts to write what I wrote and to make it public.
Oh yeah, they did say like making like the hardest part of the journey is actually like creativity journey is
Yeah.
actually letting other people see it.
Yeah, because like some people will like it and some people. I'll answer your question. Some people will like it and some people won't, but it will hurt. Even though you know it's not personal, the people who won't like
Yeah.
it still hurts. Like, wait, is that right? I'm questioning myself.
Yeah, it is.
Because there are some people who will hate on me and it just doesn't do anything, but there are some people who do, and I'm like, that hurt. And maybe it's because I like them, or subconsciously I like them. So, what was the hardest part about growing up? Rose is asking such a painful question. I, that's cool. She's my friend. I'll answer it. Yeah, okay. Breathe. In case an asteroid hits Earth tomorrow, I was honest today, and I did it today before the asteroid hit Earth. Okay, bro. It's not a secret. A number of people know this about me. This is hard. Sorry if I sound very. If I sound like I'm having a hard time. Damn. It was the situation I was in. I don't want to get too specific. I was unfortunately in. This is gonna sound really. It was an abusive situation. I don't even like that word. Like I have like the word abusive. Like even that word bothers me. Even that word bothers me. So if you listen to my songs, I have a number of EPs. Technically, I have 2 albums. I emphasize technically because I wasn't going for that. I wasn't going for anything when I made music. It was just, well, I need to talk about this, and this is a good way to talk about it. So if you listen to my songs or you read my book, it's called The Overwoods. It's doing way better than I thought it would. You will notice, you will immediately observe that they're almost themes. Like I didn't do it on purpose, but if I analyze them, there are almost 2 themes that come up often. So one of them is physical abuse, trigger warning, and the other one is sexual abuse. So I will not get too detailed today. Maybe in the future I'll be ready. Maybe in the future I'll, have the strength to talk about it in detail. But those were the things that I had to go through. Not because. Now, here's the interesting part. So. So I mentioned physical abuse, and I mentioned sexual abuse. The thing that I went through more than the other was the latter one. The former one, not as much as the latter one. The thing that made it hard, so this is the short answer to Rose's story, the thing that made it hard was when I tried to tell people. And I talked about this also in episode 0 a little bit. The hardest part was telling people. Because first of all, at least for me, everyone's different. First of all, it's hard to tell people. For me, at least, it was really hard. And then add on top of that, 60% of the people, like 60 to 70% of the people I talked to, they wouldn't do anything because at that time, like I said, the people who were responsible, the people who were either doing it or making it happen or doing it, they had a certain amount of influence. Like people would believe anything they said. Anything they said, people would believe it. No one, like not no one, but not many people would listen to me. And then the 40% of the people who would listen, and all right, so I'm gonna repeat this story. Even though it's on episode 0, I'm gonna repeat it for Rose's channel. So the 40% of people, I'm sorry, I have 0 IQ. The ones who would listen, they really could not do anything. I remember, yeah. I remember going to, sorry if you hear sounds from the outside, I rent a room, the walls are thin as paper. I remember telling people, I even tried to tell. Yeah, the people who would listen to me, they could not really do anything because of the influence factor. Like, too many people would believe anything they said. At least in that environment. At least in that specific area and environment where I was at that time. So even the people who would listen, they couldn't do much. And the story that I'm repeating from episode 0 is there was one man who, like, he would help me in whatever way he could. There was I'm a bit older now, and like I appreciate it more. Like, he did what he could. Yeah, he told me something. He told in one of our conversations. It was really late at night. We were somewhere outside, like on a street alone, and it, like because outside on a street alone at night was already safe for me. Like, that to me, because of the situation I was in, that was already safety. Anyway, so he told me, like, if you can just survive this, if you can, he told me, hey, if you can just survive this, things will get better for you. It was very encouraging. I try to believe what he said. He was like, you are a good person, you have a good heart, you have a really nice personality. You're able to communicate with people. At least most people who have empathy, you know. So he told me, if you can just survive this, it will get better for you. You have to focus on just surviving this. For them, they'll stay the same. There's nothing we can do about that. That's them. You can't control them. But if you can survive this, because once I grew past a certain age, like, if I could just get to that age, there would have been nothing they could do anymore. I don't want to get specific. It's not like Rose and me are from the Philippines. It's, in my opinion, it's not like in the States where you turn 18, you can do stuff. My situation was a bit different from that. A bit different. But yeah, so that answers the question, and the fact that the people who would listen, they couldn't help. Like, I don't know if they couldn't or they wouldn't, and I don't want to get political. Again, me and Rose live in the Philippines. Certain things, not everything, but certain things are different here. Yeah, life for me growing up. I'm not saying there were no good people. I'm not saying everything was 100% horrible all the time. There were kind people. There were kind people and positive moments, and I am forever grateful for those people and for those moments. Unfortunately, I was in a horrible situation. Okay, do you have a topic, or do I ask you a question?
I think we're just asking questions today because literally nothing's popping up in my head.
Except murder.
Yeah.
Except murder.
Except murder. I'm literally thinking about just having like thingy next episode, just us talking about serial killers.
Oh fuck! Good luck to me. No, I'm gonna ask Emilia or any server member, please join, because I'm just gonna know. It's so, you see, this is one of the things about me which, in my opinion, is a funny contradiction. I'll ask you a question after this. It's so funny because it's like, my songs are very dark. My book is very dark. In fact, the start of the story of the book is there is a murder. A murder. That's kind of how it gets kicked off. That's a small spoiler if you haven't read it. Small spoiler. Again, that's just how it starts. The rest of it's very interesting, I think. Okay, Rose, my question to you is... I wonder... I want to make it good, like, as good as what you asked me. Just kidding. Alright. Prepare for a bit of darkness. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
So Rose and me, we exchange our real life experiences, and a lot of them are painful and sad. So I'm thinking, if you want to talk about it, I'm throwing the question back at you. Like, for you, what was the hardest thing? You can be like me, talk about it in a vague way, or like leave out what you want to leave out.
Actually, it's been easier for me to talk about it now because I have talked to other people about it, and they have been really like very sympathetic and really helped me out into that spot where I was like, ooh, I shouldn't talk about this. Like, yeah, so I feel like I'm like kind of out there and I can talk about the things. I think there was a lot of stuff that happened in my childhood. And I wouldn't say that like I didn't have a happy childhood. I really did. I had a lot of fun in my childhood. Uh, I had kind of like yours, which was like physical abuse. You could say that, or like mentality. Like my mentality was abused a lot that time, and like it still is kind of now. And when I was like a kid, I did get sexually assaulted. And
Yeah, yeah.
I can talk about it now, but like if you don't feel comfortable about me talking about it,
It's your choice. It's your choice. I actually admire you because there are certain things you can talk about that I talk about, but I find it hard. I like maybe it'll get easier. Go ahead.
it will. I don't want to mention any names or any, but I'll mention it was a family member of mine, so it really hurt deeply because I thought that I trusted that person.
Yes. Uh
Because
huh. Mm-hmm.
they were a family member of mine, and like I basically grew up with them, so they started like I don't even know what to call it because like it was a very confusing part in
I
my end.
pause. Confusing part on your end. I'm just asking you to pause. I don't know if I have to say this, but I feel like it's the right thing to do. Remember that you and me are putting this on your YouTube, which is public. I'm also uploading the backup files to my Google Drive, which is public.
Yes.
So kudos to you for not dropping names right now. And I'm just saying, I'm just reminding you this is gonna be public to whoever chooses to look at it. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead.
It's okay. I mean, I think it's allowed for people to know because, I mean, the only like thing I want to say is that please don't remember me for these stuff because people in my personal life don't remember me for these stuff. They don't.
Uh-huh.
They,
Same.
they
Same.
aren't like, oh, that's Rose, the girl who was sexually assaulted.
Exactly. Oh my
I don't want to
gosh.
be known as that.
I mean, it's so funny the part where you said like people in my personal life don't know me for this, and this. Like it reminds me of the thing you said. Like people tend to see us as like perky or bubbly or whatever, and then whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like even after I tell people that, they're like, oh, I'm very sympathetic about it, but like they don't talk about it after that. They just remember me like as their friend, and they remember me something before I told them that, not only after I told them that. Which I hope that makes sense. Does it make sense?
It makes sense to me.
Okay. I'm not gonna mention names, but like basically family members fucked me up really good when I was growing up.
I can Here's the thing. I'm hesitant. Like I was like I can unfortunately relate, but then I'm like I'm not even sure those okay. I'm not even sure those were family members. Like I'm a bit older now, and now that I have a little bit of a different perspective looking back and I really really think about it, I don't even it gets sadder but easier to deal with, for me at least. For me, everyone's different, but for me the more time passes, it's like the sadder it gets because the more I understand, wow, these people did that. Like what do you have to go through to turn into that? So that's the sad part. And the other part is I think it takes time and it's painful. What can I say? I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. I was also gonna say like academic stuff. Like even though I'm just gonna say my family expects a lot from me, and there was a lot of misogyny. I'd like to say growing up for me, and even
In your
still,
you said academically when you say
yeah,
I think you said
there was a
misogyny,
lot of like
like school or at home or where?
at home, there, like, most of my problems came from home. I was like, basically I was raised to become like something like really smart or something like that, because like even though like I was raised to become like top students, you know that? And like they kind of
Yeah.
forced me like, okay, like, so like I do study. Yes, I study well. I like to say I study well. And like I'm doing good. I'm like a normal student. But like they really did, when I was younger, they did force me to like study more and more and more and more, and like really focus on that, not for my sake but for their sakes. Because like I think it was just like they brag about it a lot. Like they, when other people ask, like they're like, okay, so the thing about here in the my community where I live in, it's a lot of bragging about like your sons or your daughters. And I don't know if like, uh everything has that, but I don't think so. And then like they like to brag about stuff, and then when I became grade 7, which was like 4 years 5 years ago, uh that thingy stopped, and I decided for it to stop. And I decided that they're not gonna force me to become what I don't want to be. And yeah, sure, I do want to be a good student, and I already am a good student. I just don't want my whole life focused on something that I don't have an interest in. And I know that sounds really selfish, but like I think I'll do well in my life. Like right now I'm planning to become a nurse, and yeah, I'm sure I can do it.
Can you please become a dentist and fix my teeth, please? Like, please, bro. Damn, please.
Dental care isn't really in my alley right now, but
Well, if you become a successful nurse or doctor or something, like, get like, please, I need like help. Like, yeah, fix my teeth. I can't. No.
yes, sure, I will hook you up with the best dentist there is. But yeah, I think that's, yeah. And the abuse, physical abuse, mostly from, okay, he's dead now, my grandpa. And then yeah, it is mostly from him. And my grandpa, something about my grandpa is he was a very tough person. You can't even say tough love, because I don't think there was love, or maybe there was sometimes. And I feel like I'll open up about my parents too. I feel like my family members, or my parents, well, only one, they don't like me because I look like my dad, and my dad was a very bad person. And like I feel like they don't like me because I remind them of him. And yeah, that's kind of sad, but it's okay. Yeah, I think that answers your question, right?
Yeah, it does. Wow. It's banana gaming, guys. Banana podcast. Like all smiles, and then you listen to it, and it's like, what? Sorry. On my recorder, I'm the backup recorder, Stewie, who is. Do I tell them? Do I say it? Can I say it? Am I allowed
No.
to say it? No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I won't say it. I won't say it. Don't worry. Okay, so my recorder's at 34 minutes. We have 5 minutes. Rose, it's your channel. It's your podcast. Do you want to switch to something funny and happy or cheerful? Or I'm okay now that I've warmed up into it. I'm okay with the darker stuff now that I've warmed up into it.
I think we might have to do that next episode because we don't have much time.
Oh well, yeah. No, whatever. Yeah, we have like 4.5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
No, we can still ask each other questions. We can just like interrupt ourselves at the end of it, or no. You ask me a question. Go.
Do you like bananas?
I
Like, I want to get really deep into that topic. Do you actually like bananas? Or is it
okay,
just
okay,
like
okay,
saying it
okay.
because I said it?
Bruh. Yes, I do. In fact, okay. So a lot of people know that I am a freak. I am a lunatic for saving money. depending on my mood, my strategy will change. And I love bananas enough, and I love bananas so much that one of my strategies, which has come and gone, like I rotate between strategies, is eat nothing but bananas and drink milk. See? I'm telling, this is a, yeah, this is a public thing if people want to listen to it. That's the thing. And yeah, there's a video that a number of people have seen, apparently 2000 or something, where I literally, if I ask myself why did I post it, I'm like, why? That's the answer. Why did I post it? And the answer is why. So there's a video of me where I eat a banana and then I do random tumbling inside of a building, like backwards tumbling on the floor in a hallway. I'll ask Rose to put that in the description, and she'll be like, "Real not perfect eating a banana." Okay, no, but the answer, okay, yes, I do love bananas. I don't like the.
Okay, wait. Real question though, before I forget.
Okay.
Banana bread or banana pie?
I have never heard of banana pie. I know banana bread.
They like basically mush up bananas and just like plop it in a pie crust.
Bro, that sounds kind of amazing. I don't think I've ever had one. I've heard of apple pie. I've had apple pie. I've never had banana pie. I've had the mango pie from, I don't know how it goes in other countries, but like, is it McDonald's? Is it McDonald's? Is it McDonald's?
Jollibee.
Is it?
Oh my god, you're Filipino and you don't know that it's from Jollibee?
Dude, you have no idea how low my knowledge is in certain aspects. Like, my knowledge is just non-existent in certain aspects. I thought, but doesn't McDonald's here have a pie too? Like a hot pie?
It has apple pie, but no mango pie.
Okay,
Mango pie
okay.
is
Bro,
bad.
like, you see, I'm such a freak for saving money that I almost never go to fast food. Like, this is gonna get dark again. Like, even though we have 2 minutes. Like, the only times I ever went to fast food was if somebody was taking me there. And that gets dark real fast, but anyhow. See, I'm like, I can talk about it and laugh about it, but it's just like, I'm gonna cry after this podcast. Like, after this podcast, I'm gonna play Roblox, maybe with Rose, maybe, I don't know. And then I will cry. Okay, we have 1 last minute, and I'm gonna ask Rose a question.
Okay.
So, Rose, as the owner, the proprietor, and the host of Banana Gaming and Banana Podcast, what do you think the first game that you're gonna discuss will be? And if I'm gonna be a part of it, it has to be a game that we both know.
Discuss? Okay, if it has to be both, because if it was like, the question was just like, discuss, probably Valorant. I'm pretty addicted to that game.
You know what we can call the video? You can call it like Expert Explains Valorant to a 5-year-old. Like, I'll be like, that should be the title. Like, you'll be streaming or something, and I'll be like, what's that?
Sure. I'm pretty addicted to the game. And if it has to be something, probably Roblox.
Yeah, like if it has to be something in common, like,
I had a very amazing time playing Neopets with you guys.
oh my gosh, yeah! Oh my gosh, yeah! Okay, we're gonna end on this high note. Yeah, me and Winter and Rose and Azriel. So Winter and Azriel are friends of mine, friends of ours from Russia. Like, there were other people, I think Hoko was there. Anyway, we played Neopets. Oh my gosh, sorry, I freak out okay, we're gonna stop the recording. I freak out whenever people say Neopets, because that was like one of the happy parts of my childhood. My childhood did have a lot of happy parts, and that's one of them. Okay.
Banana gaming.
Banana Gaming 69.